I'm giving you guys the top 5 best meta loadouts in Warzone 3 right now. And if you guys want some COD points, all I need you guys to do is comment meta. So we're going to start out with the Bass B. Throw on the VT7 Spear Fire Suppressor L for being undetectable by the radar, recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range at the cost of aim down sight speed, aim walking steadiness, and sprint to fire speed. Now there are some alternatives. You can't really handle the recoil, but I honestly do believe this is the best possible choice. If you can't handle the recoil, then you kind of have to go all the way over here. This does buff a 3 up on the recoil control. The other ones you can also use like this, but you guys see the cons just aren't really worth it. This is why I think that the VT7 Spear Fire Suppressor L is the best possible choice. You get the most bang for your buck, and you also are silenced from the radar. Next, throw on the Brune Venom Long Barrel for bullet velocity and range, recoil control, aiming, idle sway, and gun kick control at the cost of sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and sprint speed. I don't think there's really any other alternatives. I mean, you could use the Wyvern Respite Long Barrel, and it does help with bullet velocity and range and aim walking steadiness, but I just think that this is better overall. It helps with recoil control and gun kick control, while this just helps with aim walking steadiness, aim walking speed, and movement speed, which you don't really need for an AR. Now, it just completely depends on what you want to use it for, but these are the only two I would really suggest, and because this is an AR, I would use the Brune Venom Long Barrel. Next, throw on the Brune Heavy Support Grip for gun kick control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and vertical recoil. There are some other alternatives to this, but I think this is the best possible choice. Now, some people like to use the Kimura Rin 03 vertical grip if you can't handle the vertical aspect. Some people like using the Brune Tactical Vertical Grip as well, but I'd still do think the Brune Heavy Support Grip is the best possible choice. So if you guys are using any of the other ones, switch to this one and you'll do much better. Next, I use the 45 round mag. This thing is absolutely disgusting, and because we can't get any more, this is the best possible choice. Last but not least is the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times. I have seen some people use the Igniter and some other attachments, but because of how I'm going to be using this weapon, I think the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times is the best possible choice. You'll be able to actually take people out long range. I mean, you can take them out all ranges, but this helps the best for the long range engagements. And to show you guys how deadly this thing is, it doesn't take much effort to actually use this gun. It's very easy to use, and you can take an enemy out without even wasting your entire mag. So that's something I would definitely consider. And if you made it this far in the video, I want you guys to comment Bass B is cool. Now, I mean, it's a really simple thing, but I'm going to shout some of you guys out that actually do that. And this is the entire first class setup for the Bass B. Make sure you screenshot it or copy it down right now, whether you want to pause the video or whatever. This thing is the best battle rifle in Warzone 3 right now. I know some people are going to attack me for saying I said it's an assault rifle, but it's the best battle rifle. So it's in the battle rifle category. Make sure you guys copy that down. Next is the Wasp Swarm. Now, I absolutely love this SMG despite people trying to nerf it, trying to make it weaker, and trying to make it obsolete in this game. Throw on the LFR Flash Hider for muzzle flash concealment, recoil control, and gun kick control at the cost of aim down sight speed. Now, if you don't want to use this, there are some alternatives you can actually throw on there, like the Spiral V3.5 Flash Hider. I just don't think it's worth it. I think that the LFR Flash Hider is better. Plus, you get less cons. So I mean, like, why would you sacrifice a pro and get an extra con if you want to like silence yourself? Now, if you want to stay completely off the radar, then you can either use the Shadow Strike Suppressor S, you can use a Monolithic Suppressor if you want some more recoil control, or you can use one of these. But if you do use one of these, then you're going to get a con that's not really worth it. So make sure that you're sticking to what I showed you guys, which is the L4R Flash Hider. Next, the Wasp Reckless 90 Long Barrel for bullet velocity and range, aiming out of sway, gun kick control, and recoil control at the cost of aim down sight speed, hit fire attack stance spread, aim walking speed, and sprint to fire speed. Now, there is one other alternative, but you don't get gun kick control and recoil control. That is the Wasp Ruthless L Barrel. Now, you get bullet velocity and range and aiming out of sway, but you do get a reduction of sprint to fire speed more than the Reckless 90 Long Barrel. So you have to weigh your pros and cons. Can you handle the recoil, and is it worth it to actually lose more sprint to fire speed just to have, I guess, less pros? I don't really think that's worth it. I think you might as well have the Reckless 90 Long Barrel. Take the cons on the chin, and you'll most likely do good. Next is the Brune Heavy Support Grip. Now, this is the best possible choice for the Wasp Swarm. I'm not even gonna give you guys any alternatives just because it's not worth it. But you throw on this for gun kick control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and vertical recoil. And I know I just said I'm not giving you guys any alternative, but I'm actually going to show you guys one. So the one alternative I actually will give you guys is, if we get to the beginning, it is the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop for sprint fire speed, aim down, sight speed, vertical recoil, and gun kick control, or the DR6 hand stop. I mean, these are, I would more so go with the X10 Phantom 5 if you guys want some more sprint to fire speed and aim down, sight speed, but you're not going to get as much vertical and recoil control and gun kick control as you would with the Brune heavy support grip. And next is the 100-round drum. Now, I absolutely love using this drum. The only time I probably wouldn't use this drum is if I'm playing solos. I probably use the 50-round mag, but for quads and trios, I would stick with the 100-round drum just because I believe it's worth it. You can actually take out an entire team without having to reload your gun, which I think is very optimal. Now, if you guys want to play solos or duos, maybe 50 is more than enough, but I like using 100 and it hasn't affected my gameplay, so this is what you should stick to as well. The last thing is the FSS Rampage 7 Tactical for aim down, sight speed, aiming out of sway, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim walking speed and movement speed. This thing is meant for short and medium ranges, so keep it at short to medium ranges and you'll be good to go. If you try to go past that, it's just not going to work for you. You see the accuracy is very high, and that's because we're sticking to our range category. Now, if you try to go past short and medium range, what's going to happen is you're just going to miss all your shots, which is something you don't want to do. So make sure you stick to short to medium range, you'll be good to go. So make sure you guys copy this entire class right here. All you guys have to do is screenshot, take a picture, or pause this video. The Wasp Swarm is something you definitely want to have in your category. I also have something else in the SMG category that I would love to show you guys, and that's going to be right now. The AMR9, I've actually had this as a sleeper build for a long time, but people are starting to catch on more that the AMR9 is insane, so I'm going to show you guys this build right now. They're on the Nimbus 6 integrated suppressor for being undetectable by radar and bullet velocity and range at the cost of sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Next, they're on the Brune heavy support grip for gun kick control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and vertical recoil. They're on the VOK Laser 7 MW for aiming stability, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed at the cost of laser being visible in ADS. Now, I would recommend the Kimura RYL 33 laser light if you can handle the flashlight being visible to enemies and laser being visible to enemies, but that's going to be at all times, which is why I don't really think that the pros are worth it. Unless you think you're just that good that you can just take on the enemies regardless if they see your laser or not, then feel free to use the Kimura. But I choose the VLK Laser 7W just because your laser is only going to be visible in ADS, which you can catch people off guard instead of them expecting you coming around the corner with a flashlight showing at all times. 50-round mag. Now, I'm kind of torn between the 50 and 100. Just because most likely in quads I would use 100, but in like solos and duos I would most likely use 50. You can also use 50 in quads, but it's really a trade-off for me. Like, I don't know which one I would kind of side more with, so this one is going to be completely your choice whether you guys want to use 50 or 100. Just experiment with it. I'm not going to give you a definitive answer on this one. But the last thing I use is the slate reflector just because I don't like the iron sights for it. You guys can use anything you guys want to. You like the niter, or you guys want to use like the Mark the reflector. You guys can use anything that you want to, but short and medium is absolutely amazing. It just takes no effort, and if you get your shots on point, then long range will be easy too. So here's the entire class setup right here. Feel free to copy it down because this thing is, like the title says, a sleeper meta. This thing is incredible, and I think we're going to see more people using the AMR9, especially because of the amazing range capabilities, so make sure you give this a try. Next is the Ram 7. I absolutely love this assault rifle. I think it easily gets the job done. They're on the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor for being undetectable by radar, recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range at the cost of aim down sight speed, aim walking steadiness, and sprint to fire speed. They're on the Brune heavy support grip for gun kick control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and vertical recoil. 60-round drum, I think this is the best possible choice. I don't think you should use 40 unless you're most likely playing solos, then you can use 40, but otherwise 60 is a good choice. HVS 3.4 pad for gun kick control and recoil control at the cost of sprint to fire speed, sprint speed, and movement speed. Trust me, it's worth it. And last but not least, the Corio Eagle's Eye 2.5 times is my personal choice. Now, if you guys want to use something different, if you guys don't want to use the optic, then throw on the Retort 90 grip tape for firing aim stability, gun kick control, and recoil control at the cost of aiming idle sway. This gun is a very easy gun to use with very little recoil. Like, I absolutely love how easy it is to use this weapon. So please try this out, especially if you're somebody that doesn't like using just the regular metas. I mean, I guess this would be considered a regular meta now, but if you don't want to use the Bass B, if you want something that kills very fast, the Ram 7 is your answer. Trust me, give it a try and you'll absolutely love this weapon. You'll fry in the battlefield. The last weapon I'm going to show you guys is the FJX Imperium. Trust me, this build one-shots, and I don't care what anyone says, this is probably the best sniper in the game right now. They're on the Sonic Suppressor L for being undetectable by radar, bullet velocity, and range at the cost of sprint to fire speed, aim walking steadiness, recoil control, and bullet velocity. They're on the .408 explosive for explosive impact, damage range, and vehicle damage at the cost of bullet velocity and bullet penetration, which is not a big deal. VLK Okay, laser 7 MW for aiming stability, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed at the cost of laser being visible in ADS. If you don't want this, then you can use the Kimura RYL 33 laser light, and you will literally get pros in every aspect, but your laser's always going to be visible. So please weigh your pros and cons. Whatever one you want to use, just be prepared for whatever comes your way. Throwing the FJX blast for rechambering speed at the cost of rechambering accuracy. Last but not least, the FJX kilo attack for aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, sprint speed, and crouch movement speed at the cost of flinch resistance, gun kick control, hip fire spread, and recoil control. I want to show you guys how easy it is to use this weapon. You can literally hit them in the chest and get the job done. So if you can hit somebody in the chest and actually get the job done with a sniper, why wouldn't you use it? So please try this out. This weapon is incredible. Honestly, the best sniper I've ever used in Warzone. Is better than the actual meta MW3 sniper. So please use this, especially if you want to be fast, if you want to get the job done easy. This is the class setup for you. And if you guys have made it this far in the video, please let me know in the comment section down below which class setup your favorite, and I'm going to shout some of you guys out.